The Home Affairs Minister, Malusi Gigaba, has claimed that a leaked video of a sexual nature is at the centre of blackmail and extortion attempts against him. In a series of tweets, he apologised to his family and the public for quote, the pain and embarrassment that the circulation of the video will cause. Gigaba says that the video was stolen from his cell phone during a phone hacking incident in 2016-2017 and that its content was only meant to be viewed by his wife and himself. He says that the video dates back to the period immediately following his appointment as Minister of Finance at the end of March last year. Well, for a little bit more on this, I'm now joined on the line by Minister Gigaba's spokesperson, Vuyo Mkhize. Hello, Mr. Mkhize. Thanks very much for joining us. And I just wonder, first of all, how is Minister Gigaba feeling at this time?
Afternoon, Peter, and afternoon to the viewers at home. Now, the Minister is taking all of this in his stride. We must understand that from the time that he became aware of this extortion attempt and reported it to the police, and subsequently when he filed a complaint with the Inspector General after having been furnished with tangible evidence proving that he was a victim of an illegal interception and hack by state intelligence agencies, his attitude had always been that rather than succumb to the attempts to blackmail him, he has no issue with the video surfacing or being released to the public as was being threatened. So from that time, he had always been mentally prepared for the fact that the video will come out, since he knew that there was actually no public scandal around it, except that obviously the display of one's private parts to the general public would be embarrassing to them and their dignity and their immediate family.
All right, you've just mentioned the, I think, state intelligence, state security services. How are they involved in uncovering this hack?
No, it's not a question of them being involved in covering the hack. Obviously, when the minister was approached anonymously via the telephone by someone, it could have been a group of people he would not know because these were all anonymous. When he was approached with the demand that he pays a certain amount of money in order to prevent the release of this video, he didn't know how the video had been obtained. But subsequent to that, a few months later, someone from within the state security establishment approached him on an anonymous basis with documentation showing that he had his communication had been illegally intercepted. Upon receipt of that, he immediately approached the Inspector General of Intelligence, which is the only statutory office that is charged with the responsibility of overseeing the functioning of state intelligence agencies. So he submitted that report based on that tangible evidence that he presented to the IG in order for the IG to investigate, A, how it came about that he was subjected to this illegal interception and hacking, and secondly, if there is any connection between the information obtained pursuant to that interception and the blackmail extortion attempts that he was being subjected to.
So he had no idea that he'd been hacked back at the time just after he was appointed finance minister until the extortion began. He had no idea that he had been hacked.
Yes, no, he only woke up to the idea that it had, because what needs to be borne in mind here is that he had not even sent it to his wife. They'd spoken about it and he was going to send the video, but he ended up not getting around to actually sending it. So it was just sitting on his phone. So that is hence his surprise and his confusion for a period of some 2 to 3 months as to how it had come about that it had gotten out. That was until obviously he was alerted to the question of this illegal hacking, illegal interception, which at the time anyway extended beyond or interested him, concerned him beyond the narrow question of just this this video. But also raised issues of just what was going on within the state security establishment at the time.
So this does raise a question, of course. Is this a private phone or a phone that he uses as a minister? Because then there would be sensitive information that might have been compromised, particularly in such an important portfolio as finance minister.
No, the minister only maintains one handset, one line, and that's his official line. So, yes, by all indications, the target for the hack was not such material. Where even at the time when he became aware that there had been a deeper project of targeting his communication, he understood that this was not the purpose of all of that was not just to seek out embarrassing tidbits such as this one. The objective would have been far grander than that. But his understanding was that it was only because perhaps whoever did not find whatever they were hoping to find that they resorted to disseminating this saucy material just for no other reason except to embarrass him. Obviously, though, before where we are now, where the thing was released just to cause him embarrassment, the attempt was, as we are saying, as he said, the attempt was to extort money from him. When that failed, it was to try and blackmail him into taking certain decisions as finance minister that would suit the benefits or the financial interest of whoever was targeting him. So only because, again, he refused to succumb to those attempts and didn't accede to those demands, one would imagine ultimately the idea was just to cause him embarrassment. But then the timing of it all is not irrelevant, given the fact that the ANC, we all know that the ANC is currently involved in this process for selecting candidates for parliament for next year's elections. So the embarrassment is not just the aim to embarrass him is not just isolated. We do believe that there is a political agenda behind it all.
So there are also images on social media of a supposed conversation between Minister Gigaba and a third party where he's begging this person not to release these pictures, not to be agitated by his wife. Did the minister send those messages?
No, I'm not aware of such, Peter. I've not seen such exchange, so I'm not in a position to comment on that off the bat.
Has he considered resigning over this matter?
Firstly, I don't even think the question arises, Peter. Let's be quite honest about it. We're not living in a Calvinistic society. Every second guy and his dog does keep this kind of material in their phone for their private viewing. Especially in his case, we have to consider the fact this was in the context of his marriage, a sentimental relationship. So, for me, I think it would be hypocritical for anyone in the age we live in to even raise such a question.
All right. Okay, Mr. Mkhize, we're going to leave it there. Thanks very much indeed for that update. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much, Peter.
All right. All right, so the motor industry in South Africa is one of the driving economic forces in South Africa. The industry will feature prominently in President Cyril Ramaphosa's upcoming investment summit in South Africa. President Ramaphosa has set a target of attracting $100 billion worth of direct investment over the coming 5 years as part of